Step onto a world where there's no one left but the very best. No MC can test. And she's like, wait, who are you? Oh, okay. I know you. Cool. Taryn Kloth, what's good? How you doing? Lady Nuss, what's up, Kristen?
What's up? That was hilarious.
You guys do a really good job, and I call it preventing big waves from crashing. Do you guys understand what I mean by that? Big waves crash? Like I'll do it numerically for Taryn. For every 5 points you get emotionally high, you can possibly give up 9 on a low. Is navigating your emotional highs and lows a conversation that you have with each other?
I mean, I think we just kind of balance each other out. So like if I am like struggling a little bit, Kristen's not going to give me the deer in headlights look like, oh my gosh, we have to get this next point. Because when that happens, I feel like that's just when things start to unravel for both people and you just start to lose trust. So that's been a big thing that I have enjoyed that Kristen does not. She doesn't give me that look. She just gives me her full trust that I can either side out or block a ball or something like that.
I think it is, though, just the trust that we have in each other, even if it is like, oh, we lose 5 points in a row. We're like, okay, yeah, we are going to get 9 points back. Like, It really is just like trust in each other.
Yeah, that's very important. And as I said in the previous podcast, there are very few people that can start emotionally high and stay emotionally high. Those people are so rare. They're like unicorns, you know. And if you find one, we need to take them back to the lab and study them, right? We need to study them and examine and see what they're all about. I'll give you an example. Fallon Moana starts high, stays high. She's insane. If you've ever seen her play or if you've ever followed her or whatever, I'm sure Kristen has at some point. So, simple question. Are you guys as unassuming as everyone thinks you are?
Unassuming?
What does it mean? All right. You had a conversation about beating certain teams like Kelly Kalinsky, Emily Stockman, beating teams that people affectionately say they have, those are named teams. And does being unassuming, not knowing who they are, not knowing their playing history or their history of success, work as an advantage to you?
Well, I for sure knew who they were.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give that one to Taryn. Because she did not know who they were.
You listen. You're gonna be. Hold on. You're gonna be carrying Taryn most of this podcast, but you got it. This one you got to punt to her. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's helpful to just like go out there and not worry about who's on the other side and just like playing your own game, know what you can and cannot do, and figuring it out from there. So I do think it's beneficial to not play somebody because of their name.
Right. Also, I think, listen, it's one less thing to think about, right? You got enough food on your plate. You got to watch video. You got to prepare for certain teams. You have to make these in-game adjustments, certainly between sets. And if you can before the technical timeout, not getting wowed by someone's history is I mean, I feel like I'm asking you setup questions, and I don't mean to do that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to get comfortable. I'm also trying to speak in a language too, so where your coach isn't like, hey, don't be asking them questions like that. I don't know if you've listened to any episodes. I've had stand-up comedians. I've had infectious disease people. Because I've had theater performers because my major in college was my BFA in acting. I had a sex podcaster. All we did was, from 55 minutes all the way to the second hour, we talked about sex. We talked about why do people cheat. We talked about he's just a weird guy. His name is Billy Procida. He's amazing, and that's an episode you guys listen to on your own. But I'm really happy I'm always happy to have volleyball players because this podcast started first 10 episodes of Volleyball Players. And that's our wheelhouse. So was Atlantic City your first tournament together in Jersey?
It was our first like big
Yeah.
AVP tournament, but we had played in a couple like local tournaments. But it was just like a couple. But that one was for sure the first like the first big one.
Did you win that?
We did.
You did. Cool. Who'd you play in the finals?
We played Katie Horton and Carly Kahn.
Nice. Cool, man. I wanted to know who the hell the women were because I knew Bruno, Marine and Angel. Angel won the men. And,
that was a lot of fun watching.
And Bruno, I mean, you know, Angel's got a good work ethic, but I got to tell you something, ladies. As far as like physical preparation, I don't think anybody works as hard as Bruno. I see people in the weight room. I see people's cardio training. And, you know, California, of course, they got the sand dunes. These young guys just breathing heavy, running up a damn hill. I've never seen anybody train as hard or as Bruno Hammarine, man. And God, he's such a nice guy, isn't he? Have you ever talked to him?
Briefly,
Yeah.
and like right before one of his matches, he was super nice.
Yeah.
Just like cracking jokes, and yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, his ability as a player and his ability as a human being is definitely on the same plateau. And we could say the same thing about Angel. These are, you know, I'm surprised like female players and male players at that level don't talk to each other more. I mean, volleyball is a very incestuous sport, ladies. We, you know, roommates, business partnerships, marriages, fights, I mean, it's, you know, we're pretty close to closely knit, and I guess. I don't know. I guess it depends on the place. Like New York City, I'm from New York City. Like Central Park, there's 100 of us deep, different levels from open to double B. We all know each other, and it's a family. We order food there. We order, you know, Chinese food. We play spades there. So it's yeah.
It's cool. It does bring a lot of people together. Like I would have never thought in a million years that beach volleyball would have brought me to Louisiana. I would still be here and gotten to travel to go and play in these tournaments and meet these people. So,
No doubt. So let's talk about Coach Brock. All right. I'd like for each of you to say just one or two sentences, kind of like what he means to you, and let's spin off that. I know he's a former player at USC. I'm old school. I'm 50, so I kind of like know a little of everybody. You know, yeah, 50. Drank the volleyball Kool-Aid, ladies. So yeah, listen, right? Look at Dane. Dane drank a pitcher. So talk to me, Taryn, what, you know, the first time you met Brock and just the interest in beach volleyball and kind of what he means to you in regards to just the program.
Yes, I was looking at different beach volleyball schools to go play at, and he gave me a call, and I was like, to everybody, my first sentence is, I have never played before. Like, I need you to know this right away. I am an indoor volleyball player. But he just showed a lot of trust in me. And I think that's what was so exciting is he trusted that I could get to where I needed to be. And then two, he was just like so excited. And I don't know, I felt like that was like really welcoming. And I mean, I hopped off the plane and the assistant coach at that time came and picked me up with him, and they were just like so kind. And I cannot even explain how these Louisiana people are just like, they're so nice and so welcoming. So I think that was just like, that sealed the deal for me.
Yeah,
I think
man.
to piggyback off of that, I feel like Russell, like you just know he fully cares about you. Like he wants the absolute best for you, no
Always.
matter what. And I think that is what stands out to me the most of him. Like, because some coaches, they could really just like care about like wins and losses and like that's it. They like sometimes don't really care about like the athlete, I guess. But like for him and just like all of our coaching staff, it's like they truly care about each one of us, and that's really awesome.
I always say, and it's so weird because I don't like to take notes, but I like to be better prepared for these podcasts. And I actually, one of the notes I put was, we get paid to coach. We don't get paid to care. So, and that's very, very unique that you said that, because that sounds like him. You know, I've met him. I had the pleasure of meeting him for a few times. I was with beach volleyball national events like a Get Notice showcase. So we basically all of the college coaches come out, and it's like, you know, the kids who are already committed, you know, they have like the name of their school written on their calf. You know how it is, right? The Get Notice showcases. So I do color commentary, semis and finals. I'm also the skills coach for Endless Summer Beach Volleyball. So and we got a bunch of commitments, but I always look at the coach, ladies. I always look at the coach, and if the coach is anything like me, at least on a professional level, on a personal level, I don't think there's anyone like me, but on a professional level, if I go to you as a coach and I say, or no, just use me. Sorry, bear with me on this. If I'm interviewing for a job and someone says, "What's your strength as a coach?" I tell them, I personalize my work. It doesn't just leave when I leave the beach. It doesn't stop when I leave the gym. I live in the video room like a hermit. This command center, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute, I'll show you by camera. This whole room is set up just for volleyball. So, but then they'll ask me, "Okay, what's your weakness?" And I say, I personalize my work. It fucking hurts, man, when you lose. You know, and you have all this investment, and you want these young ladies to win, and they put in all the time because they now they care about it, and now, you know, this little plant you put in them, they're infected with the volley virus. You know what the volley virus is, right? No, you're bitten. No, there's no known cure. There's no vaccine on the way for that. That's just you're effed for life in a good way. So I look at Brock, and I'll bet any amount of money. I'm not betting my house, okay? I got to share it, all right? So, but I'll bet any amount of money that his strength is his weakness like mine. From what you know about him, how close am I to being right on that?
Pretty accurate. Yeah, I think you're spot on.
Nice. Cool. So here's another question that I ask all of my volleyball players, that if I didn't ask, it'd be volleyball malpractice. And I'm working really hard on having this not be an interview. I want us to talk. But let's get personal. Let's start with you, Kristen. At what point?
Let's hear it.
At what point? Yeah, she leads. You're in high school or you're playing club. Was there a particular tournament or was there a particular match that was a defining moment where you left the tournament or the match and you told yourself, I think I could do this for real. I think this is what I want to do when I grow up.
Wow. I can't say there was like one defining moment. I think there's been like a couple. But I honestly think, over like the past year or two, I think that's when it's happened, because when I was like a freshman or sophomore in college, I was like, wow, like really like the sport. Like, yeah, I want to play. But over these past 2 years, just getting to compete against all these different people and all these like top level people, I'm like, wow, like I for sure can see myself doing this and I absolutely love it. So there wasn't like one tournament or anything. It's just kind of been like a gradual, like, okay, like after every tournament, I'm like, all right, I can see myself doing this. So yeah, not really one defining moment.
And for you guys, and you're going to go next, Taryn, but for you, I love this question the most because I think I'm going to run out of room doing like a mini bio to promote this podcast. You guys up to this point have been doing this for a long time and with a heightened level of success, just highlighting some stuff, you know, high school, state championships, college. I know you at Creighton, Taryn won the Big East. I think you also won tournament MVP en route to the Elite Eight. You played outside hitter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, it's a good position to transcend to the beach, ladies. The two positions that are easiest to transcend to the beach are the setter and the outside hitter. And the libero.
Yeah.
And the libero. I mean, gotta give them that. Like, if you've ever played LMU, and there's this girl named Chris, she's on the pair 6 or 5, this tiny little girl. I have never seen somebody just draw small crowds of people just playing really sick defense. This woman draws us. Most of the time, it's someone you're wild by someone's hitting, or someone on your block. Taryn, you kind of take the elevator up, right? You live in kind of your own penthouse, right? Who's that peeking out my window? Nobody, because I live in a penthouse. No, but am I right though? I mean, and listen, I'm Kristen. You can relate. Your defense just from 2 years ago up to this point, it went from very good to elite. So, and your ability to make one move, to the ball is, as far as energy efficiency is concerned, you gotta admit you're going the right direction. But let's go to Taryn. Taryn, I'd like to just do a little bit for indoor, because look, you got a free education that says you can play this sport indoor. All right, so. What moment, whether it was high school or club, or even college, or even freshman year, maybe you were just good at a lot of sports, and you're like, I'll just try this volleyball thing, and then maybe somewhere in the middle of college, I'm like, wait, this is me, this is real, and this is what I want to do when I grow up. So, was there a particular moment, or was it more like Kristen, where like it was more momentum than moment?
Is this me wanting to play volleyball in general, or is this like
yes.
me wanting to continue to?
Well, no. I mean, everyone wants to play volleyball. I'm just talking about the realization that you're actually really good at it and you could be great. Was there a particular tournament where, or maybe a match where you kind of tore it up, where you're like, dude, I'm taking the next step and I think I can go one further?
No, I actually.
Is this it for beach volleyball or indoor?
No, indoor. For her, I wanted to start indoor because I know it's been the majority of your volleyball career. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was like a super crazy indoor volleyball gym rat. Like I would spend every waking second there that I absolutely could. In South Dakota, we didn't have very much volleyball when I was younger. So now that it's like growing and that's in the state, I'm super excited. But as for like a particular moment, no. I would say it was like more like going in and like watching film and like talking with my coaches that they were like, you need to do this, 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 and this. And then like once I would like achieve one thing, I would want to just add like 10 more levels onto my game. So I would say those are like the moments where I was just like, I don't want to stop because I want to keep trying to get better and better and better. So I think that was like the mentality of like, I want to keep doing this so that I can be the best possible player I can ever be.
Cool. All right. I like that answer. Kristen's like, okay. She got me beat.
So you played indoor and beach volleyball?
I played, before I answer that, I'm 50. All right. So my senior year in high school, had a mad crush on this girl from Dominican Republic. You guys are going to love this story, right? And I'm, football player. I'm 6'1", but my wingspan is 6'8", so I had long arms. I could play tight end. Basketball, I could play small forward. Baseball, I was batting both sides of the plate. So I'm just like, volleyball.
Just dropping all of these.
Yeah. So volleyball, I'm like, yeah, hey, I can impress her playing volleyball. Piece of cake. It's a cinch. You guys see where this is going, right? I'm going to keep going, but you're like, uh-oh. So to put it the best way I could, I'm in a pickup game in my high school, and high school volleyball in New York City is Asian dominated. And I mean skill Nazis. Hands, first hit. They don't even think about serve receive. You just do it. It's not like I'm not worried about this guy's jump start. They don't even worry about first hit. It's just you don't get to take the court unless you can take care of first hit. It's an old school. And the other countries like Poland, Dominican Republic, Cuba, if you listen to Angel, my last podcast, Osborges, same thing. Maybe even Bruno. So long story short, I get on the court and play, and I want you to picture you're on a fishing boat, right? And you catch a nice big flounder, right? And you catch the flounder and you take it off the hook and you just throw it on the deck and you watch this flounder just flop back and forth, flop around, gasping for air. Looking back retrospectively, that's how I probably looked, and it's definitely how I felt.
Wow.
The visuals are there.
I know.
So I bought a book written by Doug Beal. It's called AVCA, American Volleyball Coaches Association Handbook. And I coach myself in the winter, plastic ball in Brooklyn, New York. Just bumping the ball in the backyard, reddinging the hell out of my hands because, a plastic ball in the cold. I mean, even a real ball in the cold is going to hurt. So, and then a year later, I came back a volleyball stud. 3 years left it out. I was playing professionally in Germany, in Darmstadt, Germany, as an outside hitter.
Wow.
Went to Hunter College for a cup of coffee. And this is 94 because at the time, Division 1, 2, and 3, they got to play each other. So we were one of 3 teams that got invited to Division 1, like A flight for EIVA. So, and we were D3. So it was just a squad full of, 4 Chinese guys, this Haitian player named Greg Romulus, who holds the record for most kills in a match, 61 for 98, 5 errors. In the match we lost. In a match, we lost. It made Sports Illustrated. They're like, this guy had 61 kills, and they're like, and then the next line, and lost. I wasn't at that game. My mom said you're going to church. My mom was insane. My mom's cuckoo. I'm like, I'm in an NCAA game. She's like, no, you're going to church if you want to live in my house. I'm like, holy sugar. So I'm not there. So our next 3 hitters, because the guy that gets the 61 kills, he's our top hitter. But the next 3 after him, no show. So it was just all him. His name is Greg Romulus. And then Dave McKenzie, if you know him, played for Long Beach State, played in the Olympics. He has 58. So he's the next one after. He holds the D1 record. But but bottom line, played in Germany, ran into a coach named Mario Trebich. You play for Creighton, so you probably seen him referee. Old Russian guy, cold, blue eyes, can't really see shit. And everybody's like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But if you actually talk to him, he was the head coach of the Netherlands, silver. Netherlands, and then they beat the Italians for the gold. Also, he's the assistant coach in the 84 women's team, U.S. team, silver, and the Soviet Union 88 assistant coach, silver. So 3 silvers and a gold, but this guy's up on probably still reffing and can't see shit. So he told me to set. He's like, you're 6'1", your wingspan's big, you're left-handed, set. So that's how I played. I played for Bameso. For indoor, there's a women's team called Bameso. They're all Dominican. You know them if you see them. It's run by Ulysses and his wife. So I set for their men's team. We won nationals twice. So that's my indoor career. Beach? No. Beach, by the time Central Park, you as a player, Taryn, sometimes you use beach as a cross trainer because it helps you improve for indoor, like your blocking mobility, your digging, right? You got to take more court, your serve to space. But I never played beach. I played beach in Central Park, to help the pros to prepare. But I played Manhattan Beach, got whooped because I wanted you got to do it once before you're too old. I played when I was 47. I played the Manhattan Open when I was 47. And my partner had points, so and we got whooped. But bottom line, yeah, my indoor career, I set for 2 teams that won nationals 3 times. I set for them on and off, in and out. I was the only guy that spoke English on both of those teams. Bameso, no one speaks English. Not really. If you've seen the women's team, right, the whole team speaks Spanish. So, and Pole Lamb, the whole team speaks Polish. But that's my volleyball career. I was with John Mayer at LMU 2018. I'm with him. Endless Summer, volleyball skills coach, and then P1440 picked me up to do color commentary and play-by-play, which I think as you can see, I'm totally comfortable with.
I was gonna say that.
I have the gift of gab. So listen.
I think that the hardest transition for beach and indoor, like what was the hardest part for you to go between both?
Well, I'll start with the easiest. The easiest was the block. I was 6'1", but I had a big wingspan, and from the East Coast, you have to split block or someone like me, whoever, someone my height who reaches the highest. So the easiest thing was the block. In fact, beach made it better because I didn't have to worry about blocking lanes. And Taryn, you could appreciate this. Like blocking lanes, sometimes you have to take your lane, you're scouting a hitter. The outside, in some systems, the outside hitter has to fill the hole. Some systems, the middle has to fill the hole. But you go from indoor to the beach, you kind of got permission to just go after the hitter. I know, right, you're committed to 4 block, you're committed to line. We get that. And I knew Taryn would appreciate this answer too. So that was the easiest. The hardest thing, of course, is offense. I mean, if you have this long indoor, runway approach, and if you're a heavy guy, like Taryn's heavy. I mean, she's bigger, right? And muscle's heavier than fat too. So, you're gonna look slim. Yeah. Yeah. So, but do you agree? Was that the toughest thing? Offense, just your steps and this and that, or?
Yeah. I think so. When I rolled up to LSU, so I graduated early, so I came in January, and I've literally never ever played before. Like, I didn't even know how to do an approach differently in the sand. Then I was just like getting destroyed by everybody. It was so embarrassing, and I was just.
You're like, the little girls are laughing at me. The little girls are laughing at me.
I know how to play volleyball. I just don't right now. Like, just give me a bit of time. But
Kristen, what you laughing at?
You definitely have to be patient with yourself, which I'm not great at. Right, Kristen?
Yeah. So, Kristen, were your high school career balancing beach and indoor at the same time?
Wait, what was that?
Were you balancing beach and indoor at the same time?
Oh yeah, I would play indoor during indoor season, and then just in the summer I would play beach. But I never played indoor club or anything.
Oh, so okay. So what I guess I'll put the question back to you, because that's a great question. And I'm sorry I give you the long version of that answer, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about. But for me, it was the block and offense. For me, as an indoor setter, like first hit, it was good. Second hit, I don't deep dish the ball. My release is FIVB, an international style release, still clean. So I'm like, good, don't have to worry about that, So what's one of was the easiest thing that you brought from indoor to the beach? Was it first hit? Was it serve receive and digging?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And most difficult?
Probably I would have to say offense. Just honestly getting out of the sand was different for me. A little more challenging. But I find for sure when like indoor people that like Taryn, when she came over, I feel like setting is usually like,
oh my gosh, yeah, setting
thing.
Was so terrible too.
And that's what I see with a lot of other indoor people that play collegiately and then come over. I for sure feel like setting is always a struggle, especially transition setting. That is typically where I see indoor people struggle.
Absolutely zero amount of people want to play with you if you cannot set them well.
No.
That is just a huge part of the game.
Listen, that's something you learn right away, right? Like, I can enlist a big partner or a middle that played for BYU and this and that, and fine, he can hit, right? Can't teach height, but is he gonna get served? I'm like, man, I'm like, you better get hands, or I'm just gonna option your ass off, and you're gonna be cramping up on the beach or whatever. Cool. So, O'Gorman High School, right?
Yes.
That's you. And you're a Dakota. Are you the South Dakota girl, or is it Chris?
I am a South Dakota girl.
Okay, my question is, do people actually live there?
Just me, and that's it. Yeah. Now nobody's there.
It's like you, the mayor, who wins every year, right? He's got like just legislative fourth and fifth term for mayor.
Yes, people live there, and it is so great. Kristen came this summer. I did. Sioux Falls is where I'm actually from, and it's the biggest city in the state, and it's the best. So much fun.
Nice. Is that where Rushmore is? Am I just a freaking moron here?
No, well, it's like 6 hours away from us. It's in Rapid City, but yeah.
I'm from New York. I could probably make that ride in like 4. If you've ever seen the way New Yorkers drive.
I will say Sioux Falls is really pretty, but would not go there right now because it's freezing.
Yeah.
So, but very pretty in the summertime.
Look, I'm not going to.
In the fall, it's perfect. But then when you go in the wintertime, it is so cold. I do not miss the cold.
Good.
I miss my family and my friends there.
Listen, I live in Hermosa Beach, California, and New York takes my heart, always will, for many, many reasons, which we can talk about in the podcast. But one of the things I don't miss the winters just got too long. And I lived in the Upper West Side, and if you live in the Upper West Side next to the Hudson River, like I'm 3 blocks from Central Park, but I'm close to the Hudson River Park. And winter, that the way that wind bounces off the water, like off the Hudson River, it is brick. It is brick, dude. So, I mean, the other reason why I asked, and don't take offense to this, but this is more of a jab at humor. I was looking at like the COVID cases and like the spikes, and I noticed like North and South Dakota, like the cases went up, and I'm like, how fucking dumb do you have to be to live in a place like North and South Dakota? Like if you got COVID, you messed up. If you live in North and South Dakota and you got COVID, you effed up, man. Come on. But I mean, if you need to defend that at any point, go ahead. But I was just giving you my first take, and of course, I got to bring it back when you actually think twice. But I got to be totally candid and honest. That was my first take. I mean, New York, you get it. Right? In New York, you got millionaires living on top of each other. Like I lived in an apartment I sold for like 1.1 mil, and it wasn't even the most expensive place. So, which by the way, ladies, you got to own. If you live in a place like New York or San Francisco, don't rent. Own. if you can, don't rent. You're throwing your money away. But so let's talk about COVID. Where were you guys the moment the news hit that your season was no more?
You want to go first? Okay, I'll go first.
You got it.
I was in the parking lot of Winn-Dixie with Tony Rodriguez and Jess Shaban, who were 2 other seniors. We had just been like told to go grab food. We might be in like a lockdown. We don't know if the stores are going to be open, blah, blah. So we were all headed to go get some groceries, and we found out the news, and we were all huddled up in the parking lot, like holding each other and just crying our eyes out. That was terrible. Wow. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then I was in Costco with 2 other teammates, Ashlyn and Hunter, and we were in the frozen vegetable aisle and got the news and just immediately started crying in Costco. And we had our like basket and everything. And we were just like, just leave the basket. And we just like, all 3 just like walked away and went and sat in our car and just cried on the way home. And yeah.
Then the next day we moved Ashlyn's bed out to her living room, and we all just sat there crying together and just like hanging out as much as we could, because we were like, how is this actually real life? And that was just an insane time. I think my face was just like I couldn't smile if I tried. I was just so sad, just absolutely devastated. And then you kind of realize like it's going to hurt people so much more. But like at that point, all I was thinking about was volleyball. Like my mind was dead set on trying to win a national championship this year.
For everybody listening to this podcast, whether it's audio or video, it doesn't matter. And anyone asking themselves, like, how can 2 girls get all emotional, like, over a volleyball season? Fuck off. Sorry. I did it. Bugger off. How's that? So when you put so much time, and when I say so much time, you're also a full-time student, because you can't really play sports unless you're a full-time student or whatever exception have you. So you're a full-time student. You're dog-tired from practice, from 2-a-days. You have a general nutrition thing. You have to follow a meal plan. You have to do a lot of off-season things. Your non-traditional season is also tournament-filled. Your regular season is intense because you just work all year to get to this moment or these very moments. And you put all this time and all this work in, literally blood, sweat, and tears. And I mean that when I say literally. And then something happens when a bunch of people come up to you and say, hey, everything you worked for this year that you thought was going to make happen, we're not going to do this year. People listening at home, most of you guys are volleyball players, so I'm not talking about you. And some of you guys, probably never played college sports, but anyone that's ever done anything like this in their life, It hurts. It hurts. And I'm really, really sorry that you, and I speak for everybody that shares your sentiment and that had to go through the same thing, that they're sorry to. Like John Mayer, I had John Mayer on my podcast, and I asked John where he was. They were on their way to play Grand Canyon, and he had to negotiate getting them off the plane because the season got canceled. And he's like, John's like, I don't want to take a trip to Arizona for nothing. Who the hell goes to Arizona for nothing? No one goes to Arizona for nothing. Okay. I'd rather go to Sioux Falls. Okay. So, so John, same thing. John shut down. Dane Blanton. It was his first season as a head coach, felt for him.
I couldn't imagine being a coach too, because you have to drop the news that like that you're going to go make 20 girls so upset. We had a meeting, I think was it like the next day or something before we all left. And as soon as one of our coaches started talking, the entire room, everybody in it was just bawling their eyes out because it hurts them too. I mean, they put so much time and effort in.
They probably put more time into it, more thinking about the season than we do, which is crazy. But yeah, it was like, I feel like people like, they always like, we like dreamed about like winning national championship. Like for me, for sure, like ever since like a small child, I was like, I want to win a national championship. And we, for sure, at LSU, we were like, this is the year. Like, this is our year to go do it. And then for it to just be, like, taken like that, it like, makes me want to cry. Yeah, still. It was. And it was so long ago.
Oh, my God.
It was for sure tough.
I just want to give you a hug. Not you, Kristen. Not kidding. She's like, I ain't want no hug from you anyway. Fine.
I say that, but then also, like, everything happens for a reason, because if that wouldn't have happened, we would not be sitting here right now. Like, we wouldn't be doing this. So, I mean, as much as it hurt then, like, I'm super thankful for it. And I know everything happens for a reason. So
I'm a big mixed martial arts fan, and there was a particular fighter that wanted a shot at the title, and he told the champion, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be for you. You know why? Because he was young and he had a lot of success. He was undefeated and he had nothing but an upside and was only getting better and better. And I'm bringing up that story because I look at the two of you guys and I feel the same way. Like, I think based on your momentum and what you guys were doing, you had the best shot at winning the NCAAs. I mean, UCLA is well coached, but I'm telling you, with Sponsel and the McNamara's gone, and Jeff Alzina, who's actually like the secret of their success at Santa Clara, and Dane Blanton, with him losing the best player in the nation, in my opinion, at that time, Tina Gradina, to the Olympics. So there was an absence of some talent, but there was also this lurking variable of what LSU was. Even the year before, you guys were right there in the semifinals. You guys were right there. And I saw that match, Kristen, with you against Tina and Bustamante. Two evenly matched teams. You play that team 10 times. I think it's 5-5. I think it's 5-5. And my West Coast bias people are, no, 6-4. That's, hey, fine. Okay. In the battle of the goofy foots. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who decided the game. It was the goofy foots decided the game. I know Coppola has a lefty approach and swings with her right, and Tina does too. Tina Gradina does too.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was great. I watched it last night just to kind of like bring myself back up to speed, but I watched almost all of it in real time because I had a chance. I just had a chance to work with a lot of these great coaches. They when I moved here, they didn't know me from a can of paint. They just knew that I had to start over. Yeah, right. Didn't know me from Adam and Eve. So no, but they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, listen. Hey, for all them guys trying to flirt at you, dude, I don't know you from a can of paint. But yeah, so I'm very, very privileged that a lot of these coaches kind of took me in right away. A lot of them liked my what Jeff Samuels calls my I don't give an F nature. Jeff and I are close friends. In fact, I would say Jeff's a brother from another mother. He said, dude, he's like, your I don't give an F nature is golden out in California. He said, out there, it's golden. And if you know what I'm talking about, like, I don't know if it's an East Coast virtue, but it's definitely a Brooklyn, New York thing. Like, if we don't like you, we're not going to pretend to. We're not going to be judged. No, listen, we're not jerks about it. But we're not going to go like, oh, hi. Oh, my God. I haven't seen you in like forever. How long has it been? No. I'm not going to do that. Someone says hi, I'm going to be like, hey, what's good? That's respectful. And you move on. Right. So I'm not trying to make the illogical leap of being a dick, but no, but I'm not going to go the other way either. Do you guys feel me on that a little bit? Because listen, sometimes there are people you don't know that are interested in you, and it helps to be nice.
That was funny.
What just happened? You got a story. You got a story to tell.
You're hilarious.
Okay. No, but there's some.
I'll just sit here and listen. You keep going.
No, but there's some people you got to be nice to. Not got to be nice to. There's some people where it just doesn't hurt to be nice to everybody, and that's cool. And there's that general blanket of, hey, hi, how are you? I'm good. You know, long night, no regrets. But being real and being that same person with everybody is kind of what helped me get almost instant success out here. I mean, well, John Mayer too. John Mayer, I played against him in Mexico. You ever heard of South of the Border Vacations, the SOB? SOB is like volleyball vacations for like a certain age demographic of people who are still savage ballers. You know, most of us are in our 40s or whatever. And for 8 days, we go to Puerto Vallarta, and then we come back, they go to Cabo, and then they go to Ixtapa. So 3 times a year, 8 straight days. It's nothing but volleyball. And they have tournaments. They have like I don't know what you call those, like a mixed, like pull a name out of a hat tournament for co-ed. Whatever you call that. I mean, for karaoke, we call it cutthroat karaoke. I don't know what they call it for volleyball, but just pick a song out of a hat. She's like, I don't know. We tried to help him. So I met John there, because I didn't go for the tournaments. I went just to play indoors against the pros thing. And John Mayer, sweet Jesus, I got worked, man. So, but the two things that earned his respect was he hit a ball straight down in front of me. Like I'm playing base one defense or off the one block, you know, just base. And he hit the hatch like in front of me. You know, like someone hits a ball in front of you, and guys, we're just trying to protect our nuts, you know, like just kind of we do this. Right? You know what I mean? In general, I think male and female, you just do this, right? Because it's taking the bounce and it's coming up, you know, and you don't want to get hit. So everyone was laughing, but one play later, Mark Cairns, the guy he was playing with, Ty Trambly was setting me. And I put the same ball down in front of him. And then everyone was just like, okay, wow. And dude, I lost the game 15-4. We just played 3 games of 15. I played with Ty Trambly, and then I played one with John. And we just took a liking to each other. So coming in, knowing someone like him was cool. Kristen, if you know who Deron Forbes is, she's the founder of Beach Volleyball National Events, heavyset girl. She actually looks a lot like Anna Collier. Met her on the beach, so she gave me an opportunity. So there's just certain people, like you said, just be. I'm getting somewhere with this. Just be yourself. That's all. This is supposed to come full circle. I didn't mean to go Kanye West on you guys. All right. You ever listen to Kanye West? I listened to him on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's talking about Brandon Lee and Bruce Lee getting killed, and it's a conspiracy, and Joe's like, what the hell did that have to do with me asking you about your church? You know. But then you listen, and he brings it full circle, and I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, the guy's a genius. So here's my question. LSU, does iron sharpen iron? Do you guys have a good crew of girls where you can practice amongst yourself and still be productive and better versions of yourself?
For
100%.
sure. I think it's funny you say that, because I think Russell actually said iron sharpens iron on our last day of practice, or right before we we had like a little like inter squad scrimmage type thing, and he actually said that like right before we played, and it's very true. Our team is very talented, and it's pretty exciting to get to practice every day with that group of girls. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. And the top of the heap on pair one is you guys. That's cool, man. Something I noticed about the pairing system is sometimes your best players aren't even in pair one. Some of them are in pair two. Like if you look at UCLA, right? Sarah Sponsel is probably the best player on that team collectively, but not collectively individually, but collectively the McNamara's were probably the best team, right? You know,
they were for sure.
Who else? LMU, I think we use Bo Culo as you know, pair one sacrificial lamb just to make sure, you know, she's gonna be mad, just to make sure we won the other three. Because LMU, the year you guys made it to the semifinals, we beat Pepperdine to win the WCCs. Came out of the losers bracket. I mean, all the way out of hell, and had to beat them not once but twice. So. And we didn't get invited because the NCAA right now doesn't have a Power 5 conference for women's beach. How do you guys feel about that? Should there be a Power 5 conference? Let's say there's 8 teams. There's going to be more, but let's say there's 8 teams invited. Don't you think the division winner from like the 5 major conferences should get an automatic bid? Who's in your conference? What? Because look at you guys. You guys are thinking about who's in your conference. Is Florida State in your conference?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then 3 at-large bids.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's tough.
I think it's tough, especially with just like the teams, like where the beach volleyball is so sporadic. So like, I feel like there are so many good teams that it's hard to say, like, if you don't win this division, you basically can't go. So I don't know how they put it all together and decide who actually gets to go and who gets the wild card, but yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand why you guys are answering like that, because I remember 2018 or 2017 where they're like, wait, what do you mean 4 teams from the East, 4 teams from the West? You know, there's this distribution thing. And I kind of got that because I remember 2018, Cal Poly and Long Beach State, neither one of those teams got invited. And Cal Poly was ranked number 4, you know?
It shouldn't be where you are located. It should be who are the best 8 teams.
Right.
It doesn't matter what state you're in. Doesn't matter. You could be in South Dakota.
Yeah. It's true. Listen, whatever's in the drinking water that makes them tall like you, man, just bring it by the pitcher. Bring it to LSU by the pitcher.
Or just the meat.
Yeah.
Hey, I asked her if she would trade athleticism for height, and she said no. So that's her fault.
No, hell no. I wouldn't in a million years.
I love it.
I wouldn't in a million years. And not for indoor or beach, ladies. Like, I want you to consider, like, for indoor, all of the mythological giants. And I can only speak on men's volleyball because that's more my wheelhouse, right? And every time you look at this guy's 7 feet tall, this guy's 6'9", this guy's 6'11", but when it comes to voting for best players or tournament MVPs, it's always the guys that are 6'3". It's always the guys that are 6'1", right? Like Kerry Walsh.
That much body.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. Like Kerry Walsh for a long time was best player, but it was Misty for a while, right? And Misty's is Kristen's height, you know? So I think, I don't know. Again, you guys both sit tall, so or maybe Taryn's sitting short, you know.
No, my torso is just so short. Like, I really am.
Who's in the low chair right now? Come on, you're sitting in the low chair, Taryn. Look at you guys sitting right now.
This is
look at her trying to squeeze an inch on you too.
Like, I really just have a very short torso, and you just gotta own it.
Yeah. Listen, you got the total package. You got height, you got athleticism, you got the brains too, right? I understand you were multiple dean's list person at Creighton, huh? Creighton, that's you. Yeah. Dean's list. How many times? Basically every semester.
I'll say every year. She's not gonna.
Yeah, I think it was.
But I'm happy to hear that because listen, women. You look at cumulative GPAs for women's indoor volleyball, man. They're a bunch of dummies, dude. So it's pretty cool to have a bunch of, hold on, wait a second. Yeah, I said it. So, no, listen. If you look at the banquet and you go to the athletic banquets, and they're celebrating the team that got the highest team cumulative GPA. Who was it for Creighton?
Cross country or
Cross
golf.
country. I've been coaching NCAA for 12 years. And
our volleyball team was kind of close.
For women's volleyball. Cool. That's cool. Listen, I'm not saying you're women's basketball. I mean, chill. We're good, He's like, man, he just keeps going. No, but the 12 years that I coached men's volleyball, 9 of the 12 years, only men's tennis was number one. Men's volleyball was they were really, really good. That's the collegiate level. High school, I didn't even think about, because high school, I coached a school called Hunter College High School, which leads the nation in 2 very important categories: cumulative SAT scores and Ivy League application acceptance. So kids making the grade, I wasn't worried about them. That was a smart kid school. They let me tell you something. You want to talk about living in a video room? Those kids, man, oh my God. 2014, we were a 38-1 record. We won the PSALs, and Madison Square Garden gave me Coach of the Year for that. So, but a lot of that was just like, I'm like, they did all the work. So, ladies, how old are you guys? You guys are 22 and 23 years old, right? Is that what's going on right now? Never ask a woman their age, but ask an athlete all the time. How do you guys feel about the generational talent that is your age and the girls bringing up the rear 2 years behind you? I love what I see right now. You go to Hermosa Beach, you see Kraft and Maple finishing 5th. I think that at the time they were 15 and 17 years old. You saw the Norris twins qualify multiple times. You see Chrissy Jones, who is the best female volleyball player no one's talking about. Right now, no, it's the 2 of you guys, because you guys are running roughshod. I love the generational talent. So my question to you is, because I can go on forever, and I'm sorry, but my question to you guys is, how much does that have to do with beach volleyball becoming an NCAA sport 4 years ago?
A lot. It has,
for sure.
I think, like, everything to do with it. Like, that for sure, I think, was the game changer. I was even going to say, before you even said that, I was going to say it's because of the NCAA having beach volleyball.
Yeah, I think my family, we've just been doing indoor for my entire life, and they would come to the games, and you go sit in a cold gym and you watch the games, and then they came to beach volleyball tournaments and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You just sit out on the beach, listen to music, watch the volleyball. There's always like 18 games going on, so you can see everything. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So, Kristen, ice cream or cupcakes?
Ice cream.
Taryn?
Ice cream. But
she's like, I better get this right.
Actually, cookies. Cookie cake is for sure the best. I know that wasn't even an option, but like that is hands down for sure easy. That's easy.
Guys, I gotta go with you. I'm ice cream. Lately, I've been making this drink, a frozen drink. It's Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. Put some cinnamon in it, non-fat milk, and some ice. Bzzz. And it has turned into not a holiday thing. It's been like an all year round. So, and now I got to order it because they only sell it year round in New York. So, swimming pool or beach?
Beach for sure. Me and swimming.
I love swimming. So fun.
Cool. Nice.
I wish I was a swimmer sometimes.
I asked Billy and Miles the same question, and Billy was like swimming pool, and Miles is like, you're insane, beach. Cool. I like that. So what's the last good book you guys read as far as novels?
Oh gosh, I'm not a reader.
Oh, reading sucks.
I got halfway through the book Grit though. That was a good book. Need to finish it.
Which
that was
one?
the last book I
What was it?
read. Grit.
Oh, Grit. Okay.
I was reading Little Fires Everywhere. It's also a TV show, but I wanted to read the book before I watched the TV show. So I have yet to watch the TV show, but it's pretty good.
Nice. For me, one of my favorite books over the years was Laura Hildebrand was Unbroken. It's a World War II junk. They actually made a movie out of it.
We just watched that movie.
Yeah,
like
book.
right before this.
What are the we literally just watched.
Ladies, I'm a spy. I can
Yeah,
see you.
you are.
I
That's
can see you
creepy.
all the time.
I was making lunch and Kristen's like, "Have you seen Unbroken?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, we're watching it."
You really,
and we had to finish it before we
We
started.
finished it about 3 minutes before.
you really have to appreciate. You really have to read the book, the beginning, because it talks about his childhood more, and how he came up, and then and just basically how running instilled the discipline. And I read the book before I saw the movie, and I don't want to sound like everybody else. Oh, the book is always better than the movie, because that's. I mean, well, so far that's true, and I don't mean to just. But I didn't want to cheapen it by just generalizing it. But it's true. The book is really, really, really good.
Well, the movie made me almost cry like 18 times, so I can only imagine what this book is gonna do.
Yeah, that movie is wow.
The movie is off the page, right? Yeah. I'm also intrigued by World War II. I'm a vet. I'm a Gulf War vet. My every major every male member of my family has served all the way back as far back as I can go, World War I. So me, Gulf War, Desert Storm. My father, Vietnam vet, grandfather, mother's side Korean War, father's side World War II, great grandfather World War I. So my sister, first female to serve, did 2 tours in Afghanistan. So we're, so we were mostly like a non-college family. We were just military people and this and that. And then my mom was the only person until me to actually have a college degree, like generationally speaking, at least back to the 60s to the present. So I went to Marymount, Manhattan after Hunter. I went to Hunter for a semester. I say a cup of coffee. What's your major? Volleyball. Okay, I played. I'm out. I don't like school. Reading sucks. Like Kristen says, I don't read. And then Marymount, Manhattan, the program's ranked number 2 in the country. I auditioned, I got in, and then I finished my education there. And then when I graduated, my mom said, "Now I can die." Because that's how moms are, when they're the only one. So I need you to appreciate the opposite of an academic family. All right. It's like no one goes to college, and then finally a kid has, son has a degree, and the mom says, "Now I can die."
You're for sure the favorite now.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Well, not anymore. The siblings followed. My sister, the one that went to Afghanistan, finished her doctorate at West Virginia, and my other sister graduated Mount St. Vincent. So now all the siblings got, graduated. My wife, forget it. They're all Harvard and Duke. My wife went to Harvard. She actually played ball there. She's from West Virginia, Parkersburg High School. They won 2 state championships, and she got recruited to play tennis and volleyball. Her father, Harvard. Mom, Duke undergrad and law school, which makes me a Duke basketball fan. So I don't even know how I got to that. My bad. Oh, listen, the book I want to recommend, and I don't mean to talk about politics too much, but it really, it's written by General Smedley Butler, and it's called War is a Racket. And I'm only saying this because, like I said, I'm infatuated by World War II and just how certain battles were won where we really had no business winning it. Like Germany and Japan, they had the intelligence, they had the elevated position, they had all the advantages. And if you've ever seen some of these movies, they're all true. We won a lot of those battles just by sheer bravery, like D-Day, and a lot of things you saw, surviving in that prison camp, which would have killed so many people. And this guy's ability not to quit, it does make you cry. But General Smedley Butler just talks about the military-industrial complex and how our politics are navigated around it. Like no matter who's president, right now it's Biden, before it was Trump, before that it was Obama, before that it was George W. Bush. And if you look at legislation trying to be passed or pushed through or deflected or filibustered, you will, when it comes time to approve, a military defense spending or a military budget, which they spend on not just soldiers but contractors and all that stuff, you never see anybody fight about that. $561 billion, no problem. So it's a very interesting book, and it's easy. The name's easy to remember. It's called War is a Racket. So, and even a non-reader like Kristen will like it.
You gotta come down to New Orleans and check out the World War II Museum.
Yeah. We went to that a couple weekends
God.
ago too.
So I'm
Pretty
going to throw a name at you guys and tell me what you think. Sean Ledig.
Love him. What a
He's
guy.
awesome.
I think I'm gay for him. I think between him and Brandon Clemens, those are the guys I'm like, I'm straight, right? Am I?
Oh, that's awesome.
I guess not.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Buy something. Maybe even bipolar. I'll try anything once. So, Evan Corey.
Cool guy.
I really like him. I first met him, qualifier, Hermosa Beach, round 3. I was coaching Earl Schultz and Jake Arudia. And he's a pain in the ass lefty. We served him 3 times, and I'm like, okay, we're not serving that guy anymore. We're going to serve his partner, Vilela, who at the time was dressed in all black. Found out he had staph. So he's in the middle of the humidity and the deep sand in Hermosa Beach. If you guys, I'm sure you guys have been. If you've been to Manhattan Beach, you've been to Hermosa. It's basically sister sand. And we found out later he had staph, but he was the guy. He was the guy we wanted to work. Do you guys know Chris Lewers?
What was that?
Chris Lewers. Do you know him, or was it Matt Lewers?
That's a her question.
Yeah, Luers, Lewers.
I may know him by face.
Well, you might know him by playing style too. He's this guy that runs like a 1.5 off the pass, like a very low set, this 1.5, this tempo. And as a coach, I can look at you I can watch you play for 5-10 minutes and tell you how I can beat you. On my worst day, maybe after the first set. And this guy couldn't figure out how to play defense against this ridiculous set. And then Bobby Jacobs, who's a local talent out here, played with Michael Boag, was like, just block cross, just 4 block. Because if you ever seen Earl Schultz, you know who Earl Schultz is? A guy with the afro, looks like Lenny Kravitz. You can't miss him. So you know him if you see him. His block, he's chest high above the net. And I was like, you're right, Bobby. I mean, because for him to cut over, it has to be quite the jumbo. And people like Kristen, people like Jake at the time, you could leg that out. And his line shot is not going to go in front of you. I told Jake, and he's like, but he can still hit hard line. I'm like, but he's not going to teabag you. He's gonna hit high. It's not, it's going to be a shot which you can run down or you sit there. So we just made this one adjustment, just two blocks and 4 blocks, and ended up winning 2-0. So I noticed you guys run a lot of 4 action too.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in the finals you were. Kristen, I like your switch off the 4 block. I like your first. I love your switch off the 4 block. I love your first step. Your first step is big. You automatically have like instant speed where some people have to build momentum for that. So your 4 block almost looks like a de facto 2. Where the 2 is more of a fixed position thing. So I really, really like the way you're working. Oh, and by the way, you got a giant at the net.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
She's all right. Sean Ledig is like, this is great. Yes. We're Facebook Living right now. I just wanted to see, pitch a feeler out there just to see who was watching. And thank God I did, because I didn't press record on my recording device for like the first 9 minutes. I'm like, we're getting all of this good stuff, and I'm not even recording. So here's what it looks like. I'll show you. This recording device here. Sorry, let's do the camera. This thing is what I use to drag my scoreboard, drag videos. This is where I watch my Olympics. That's my German championship. That's all my military awards. Those are some of the plaques I won in New York, because as you ladies know, because you got your accolades are many, if you move, you can't take everything. If you win a trophy, the room only becomes so big. So you pick out these things which mean the most to you, and that's how you do. You rock and roll with that. So your blocking and digging chemistry, was it something that happened right away? I'm going to show some highlights at the same time you guys are talking, because I didn't want to finish the podcast without showing a particular one. But so was your chemistry one of those things that just happened right away?
I feel like yes.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, not easy, but it's pretty fun to play defense behind her. I mean, yeah.
I mean, when I don't see I know the ball goes over me and Kristen's going to dig it. So all I have to do is go set and then she's going to put the ball away. So it does make it pretty nice.
It is. Simple. I like it because it's straight and simple. And there's match point. You guys win.
I hit tape. I'm so mad at myself.
Well, this might make you more mad at the next play. So stay with me.
Oh boy. Are you going to slow-mo the tape?
No. I just didn't like this particular call by the ref. Watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Watch this.
That was questionable. Kristen's gonna fight for me.
She's like, you're lucky I don't shake that ladder until you fall. I'll tell you why I didn't like the call. And indoor players definitely co-sign with us. If it's anywhere near the net, it's free game. I think people get caught up too much with this 50-50 nonsense. It could be 80-20. It can be 95-5. You don't have to wait for the ball to come completely on your side to just throw two hands up like this and just let the ball trickle gently into the person covering. That's not how volleyball works, And and that particular call, I wasn't trying to get you mad or rile you up, but
I'm so mad.
I was just trying to talk, basically let you know that on certain plays, I can relate to you. I feel you. As an indoor player, I had to block all of the best. As a setter, you have to block all of their best outside hitters, all the best OH1s. They're like, oh, we're going to pick on the 6'1" guy. And I'm like, don't be calling me over the block against this outside hitter who's 6'6", man. Don't be doing that, dude. So, and my last question, because you guys stuck it out. And if you listen to some of the episodes, we talk about politics or whatever, and we can go. I think we went like 2 hours and 40 minutes. We were talking I had an election night special with one of my friends who's an independent that has no problem just like, okay, Obama, Trump, anybody can get it. He's one of my favorite people because he's an equal opportunity ass kicker. And I like people like that because their opinions are unsolicited. And for me, for you guys, you probably get to know me later on as the months go. I don't let my love or contempt from someone affect my critical thinking skills. Right? I don't think there should be a set of rules for people you like and another set of rules for people you don't. And I'm only talking about the professional spectrum. I'm not even talking about political. I mean, it applies political, but from and that rule actually. A lot of people can talk to me about politics because right now, in case you haven't noticed over the years, one side is going more this way and the other side is just going more this way, and there's zero tolerance. There's little or no tolerance for anyone who sees an argument both ways. So my Facebook wall is loaded with just great conversation. Just insightful. People post links and this and that. We debate healthily, and I have a general rule: if you attack the argument, the person, and not the argument, I'm deleting your comment. So, 150 posts later, we're still going, on these issues. So, that's my Facebook wall. So that was segue to me talking about your hand setting. Sure, kidding. I love your bump set. Okay. And there are going to be some practices, and I'm talking to you, Taryn. Going to be some practices where your goal is going to use your hands as much as you can, and hand setting is like push-ups. The only way to get better at it is to keep doing it. That's what my drill instructor from boot camp told me in Fort Knox. You know, yeah. He said, son, what's the best way to get better at push-ups? Do push-ups. So, but windy days, windy conditions, as far as something being there when you need it, bump set is king. Bump set is king. I mean, look at Ricardo, one of the best players in the world. He won a bronze, a gold, and a silver, 3 Olympics in a row. Bump setter. Look at Alisson, Bruno's partner, bump setter. You know, these are guys, but I'm not saying you to steer away from hands, and most importantly, I don't want some coach to come up to you and tell you what you can and can't do, because y'all basically right now where you guys are, you can do whatever the hell you want, but practice both as much as you can. Because if or when you get hands, not if, when, eventually you're going to have hands and they're going to look beautiful and your partner's going to be smiling. Big smile. See how she just looked at you like she loves you? She was like,
hands.
She was like, oh, she's so dreamy. So, no, but when you get good hands, don't fall too much in love with it. Go back, have a whole practice where it's no hands, bump set, and that's a piece of advice I could give you as just someone who's not only been doing this for a long time, but has also had some degree of success. You know, of course, there are levels to this. I mean, Brock is king, man, best man for the job, and the best candidates working with said man. So, and ladies, that's all I got. Is there I know Rob asked you this, but is there a particular Instagram handle? Actually, I'm going to put that up on the edit anyway, because this is just a live version, but the edited version I throw all kinds of stuff in there, including more videos. But is there a particular way where someone wants to get to know you guys a little bit more? Is there just YouTube handle, or do they just go to the LSU site? Because I know a lot of the stuff is steered that direction. Do they go to the LSU, the Tigers website?
I would just go to like Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like Instagram.
That's probably the one that I check the most.
Cool. Yeah. And the last piece of advice, I love the way you guys are, how unassuming you are when it comes to everything. And don't ever change that. Keep that. It's golden. It's golden. You guys are extremely good at what you're doing right now. And you're also extremely likable. From a marketable perspective, it's nothing but up. But as far as you remaining true to who you are as people, never lose that. Never lose that. Always keep that. Okay?
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, man, the pleasure's all mine. All right, so for all of you at home, they might love you, but I can't stand you. In fact, I think I'm out of here, all right? For all of you at home, for all of you at Starbucks on your lunch line watching this live version, for all of you on your desktop who runs the world, old school. For all of you people on your Droid, and for this young lady, Taryn Kloth, and Kristen, can't even remember.
Nuss.
For Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss, I'm Jason DeBillius, and we say so long. We're out.
Bye.
Check out the Option Podcast on optionvb.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.